Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Welcome to Grow Your Business. I'm Helen Mac, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 mindsets that you need to grow your business. Perfect title for this particular segment of BRiN. So what I want to talk to you about really is about thinking about your business in terms of where it started and what you need to do to make it grow. Because every business starts with an idea, but it takes more than just that first step, more than just the thought to make the business happen. And my belief is that what we need to really look at is the difference between attitude and mindset. So what we're going to be sharing today is how do you find the mindsets that are going to take you to where you need your business to go. So what's the difference? Well, an attitude is a state of mind. It tends to be a short-term or temporary arrangement. And of course, we have good attitudes and bad attitudes. And there's a lot of material out there at the moment on what the right set of attitudes are. Now, my belief is that what we need is the best possible mindset. So what does that mean? Well, when we're looking at a mindset, it's more of a permanent arrangement. It's what you tend to have as your habitual attitudes, the way that you process the world, and therefore the set of attitudes that you take into your business on a daily basis. So the difference is that an attitude is something you can switch on or off, and a mindset is the collection of attitudes that you tend to use every day. Temporary versus permanent. Now, there's a lot of research around that says that your attitudes are important, but your mindset, your collection of attitudes, is what's actually going to drive your success. So let's explore for a while what those mindsets might be. But first, let's have a look at some of the attitudes that might actually be getting in your way. So there's a lot of material around talking now about positive thinking. And I have a very strong belief that there's a negative impact of positive thinking. Let me share with you a little bit what I mean by that. So one of the challenges of this epidemic of everyone talking about needing to have a positive attitude is that we don't have, there's no action imperative built into that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit further later on. But what we need to remember is that positive thinking is just that. It's thinking. And any of you who've been in business for any length of time knows that thinking doesn't build your business. So it's really all about attitude and action that sets your appropriate mindset. And so what you need to be thinking about is your future, the growth of your business is going to be determined by the actions that you take, not just the thoughts that you think. So part of the equation is around your motivation, around what is it that you want to do and what are you willing to do to make that happen. So there's some really interesting research around this idea of the point of no return. And the point of no return, the example that they talk about is in ancient history, Caesar and the Rubicon. So Caesar's army was approaching the enemy, and as they approached this particular river, the opposition army was watching them thinking, are they going to, are they not going to? There was literally this point of no return. And in business, the point of no return is where you say, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to build it to the level that I believe it needs to be. I'm going to take the actions. Sometimes I'm going to stretch myself way outside my comfort zone. I'm going to take the actions required to make this happen. What the research tells us is that when you get to that point, you move from beyond motivation to this concept of volition. You're impelled forward, and because there's no turning back, you make things happen that you wouldn't otherwise necessarily have been able to create. So the thing is that at that point, you've actually got momentum that is going to help you go forward. And momentum becomes your friend. Now, I've intentionally chosen a supermarket trolley here because I think this is something that we can all relate to. You're in the supermarket, you're doing the big weekend shop, you've got a stack of food in front of you, and then you're trying to get the thing round the corner. Momentum becomes your friend in that instance because with momentum you can actually make the turn. And in business, momentum is the thing that helps you make changes. If you are not in a scenario where you have enough momentum in your business, it's really hard to make changes. It's really hard to make a difference in the way you run the business, in the people that you have on board, in the systems that you're using. Momentum becomes your friend in that it helps you take bigger and bigger steps. One of the things that I believe is that any direction is better than none. So standing still and thinking about your business is not going to create any change. What you need to do is have a mindset that I'm going to regularly take action. I'm going to take the best action I can think of today, knowing that even if that action's not the best outcome, at least you've done something. You've got then some feedback and you can make a decision going forward. So we need to be thinking about the 4 leadership mindsets for business growth and for business success. So I want to just step you through these 4 steps, and each of them help you to grow yourself and to grow your business. So the first element that I want you to think about overall is that all businesses, regardless of the size of the business, whether you're just starting and it's just you and a dream and a whole heap of energy, or whether you've got a big team around you and you're trying to make sure that everyone's travelling in the same direction, is that better people build better businesses. And so as business leaders, as business owners, we all need to build ourselves as well as building our teams. So what does that mean for us when we're looking at the big picture, at the whole part of our business? Well, it means that we need to start by looking at ourselves first. The first step is personal leadership, which is about making sure that you are the best person possible. So let me explain a bit what I mean about that. So the first part is that you need to know yourself. You need to put up the mirror and have a look and really know what is the good, the bad, and the different. So we all have strengths, and it's really important to understand what those are. We all have weaknesses, which sometimes we don't want to have a think about, but we need to remember that those weaknesses are things that are going to get in our way if we don't address them. And hopefully, when you're in business, we all have some things that are a little bit different. Now, most people who know me know that one of the things that's different about me is my passion, my obsession, with the colour orange. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to have a favourite colour for your business, but you do need to have something that makes you stand out. And as part of knowing yourself, it's about recognising what is it that means that people would want to do business with me as opposed to someone else who might be offering something similar. This is the start for business owners of what your unique selling proposition, your unique offer is, because people, especially in a small to medium-sized business, are at least partially buying you. So knowing yourself includes doing some self-analysis, doing some personality profiling, some behavioural profiling, but it also sometimes just means asking yourself, what is it about me that I'm bringing to my business? So the first part of personal leadership is knowing yourself. The second part of personal leadership is about choosing your achievement mindset. Now, this is a passion of mine, has been for many, many moons, and that is, I believe that the achievement mindset is optimism. So optimism is about making the best of every situation. It's about the search for good, and it has built into it an action imperative. It means that you can consciously choose your attitude on a daily basis, and from that point you can then make a choice about which attitude do I want to take into this particular scenario. So what does that mean? Well, you need to make sure that you are aware of your attitude at any time, that you are not just playing a game of, well, let's see how we go today, but as a business owner on a daily basis, you need to choose your attitude. Now, as I said earlier, I believe that positive thinking is not necessarily the best attitude. So let me share with you the process that I use to make sure that I'm always making the best conscious choice of my attitude at any time. So for most people, when they're facing some kind of business difficulty or business challenge, what they tend to try to do is get away from thinking negatively or badly about that scenario and trying to take an attitude of, oh, it's all going to be okay. And so they try to sort of stay calm, and then they have an attitude of, it'll be fine, it'll be okay, it'll be all right on the night. So they take a positive attitude. Now, as I said before, I don't think that actually works very well. My approach to maintain the best possible mindset, which is this optimistic mindset, is that I Okay, if something goes wrong in business, then that's business. Business happens. Things happen in businesses all the time, and it's only the people that have a strong mindset that survive these kinds of setbacks. So what we need to do is make sure that we take a reality check. So sure, bad stuff happens. Even to professional optimists, bad stuff happens. Take a reality check. Where am I now? What have I got as resources? Where do I want to head? What's my most logical first step? And then you take an optimistic approach, which is looking at all.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.